What's happening, YouTube? Anthony on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film with a brand new PR Lost Galaxy 2014 review, and today we are taking a look at Hasbro's Marvel Legends Black Suit Spider-Man, aka Bully Maguire from Spider-Man 3. I kid you not. Oh boy, this was the Black Suit Spider-Man and Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure. I've been waiting for the review on this channel ever since I heard they were going to do this video, because even though I got the figure back in June of this year, and by the time I got the figure, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to open this motherfucker. I've been waiting to open this figure up, because, you know, given my personal history with Spider-Man 3 as a movie, and with Tobey Maguire's Black Suit Spider-Man in general. Okay, so, you know, we're nearly 20 years since Spider-Man 3 was released in 2007, come 2027, and I'm like, man, oh god, like, we've come a real long way since the movie came out, and the hype around it, and how everybody was excited for the Black Suit, everybody was excited for Venom's first live-action appearance in the Spider-Man movie, and all in galore. But you know, just thinking about this figure and just looking at it, because this was definitely one of my must-have Marvel Legends of 2025, and if not, one of my must-have Spider-Man figures, because again, everybody should know how much of a huge fan I am of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. And, well, I'm not the only one. There's millions of other people. But, you know, we've come such a long way since Tobey's movies, and we've had Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man. I do have a Tom Holland Spider-Man, by the way, in the Marvel Legends. I will review that later. And then the Spider-Verse movies, and then the Insomniac PlayStation Spider-Man games, and galore. But I'm like, man, I've come a long way as a Spider-Man fan, and Toby Tard, let's just call it that, you know, Toby Tard, you know, anybody who's only loyal to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man because of, you know, due to the fact Toby is the GOAT, and knowing Tobey's Spider-Man still resonates with me. And even though, again, I like Andrew Garfield and I do like Tom Holland, but you just cannot top the OG that is Tobey Maguire, and you just can't. But especially his Black Suit, because he's the only live action Spider-Man thus far to have a Black Suit adaptation. We'll see if Tom Holland will ever come close to having a Black Suit in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but for now it will only be Tobey with the Black Suit and him only. And we should know, and I should also take note, as before I even did my review on it, I know that some people who have did a review on this months before I did have already pointed out that all they did was just repurpose the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man No Way Home variant of his figure from the Spider-Man No Way Home Marvel Legends line, but just repainted black using the No Way Home mold of, you know, Tobey's Peter from that Spider-Man, and also repaint the No Way Home Raimi mask black, but they just didn't want to use the proper version of how the mask always looked. But I mean, wait until when I review the No Way Home, you know, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man figure later, which I do have. The only difference is they just had to remodify Tobey's Peter Parker with, of course, the Bully Maguire emo hairstyle. But we also come with some new accessories to fit his vibe of him being possessed by the Venom symbiote from as seen in Spider-Man 3. Now, people say what you want about Spider-Man 3. I've seen that movie so many times compared to Spider-Man 1 and 2. I kid you not. I mean, I saw it so many times as a teenager. I loved it. As I got older, as time went on, I grew to have a love and hate relationship with Spider-Man 3. But if it weren't for also the Bully Maguire videos that have cropped up since 2018, 2019, 2020, then it made me have some profound appreciation for that movie. But knowing everybody will still have their stance on how they feel about Spider-Man 3 to this very day, but knowing I still love Spider-Man 3 simply for the Black Suit, the Black Suit theme music, then of course the Bully Maguire, Bully Maguire himself doing his, lines like, "Look, a little Goblin Jr., gonna cry? I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. I'm really gonna enjoy this. You're trash, Brock." Lines like that. You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door. Yeah, I will fix your rent when I'm done with this review, and then after the review, I will fix your damn door. So here's the front of the package with the render of Bully Maguire in the black suit. Then the Spider-Man 3 logo. Then the render of black suit Spider-Man. I don't know why, people have said that they should have went with this instead of going for what they got from No Way Home with that spreading out the webs on the mouth. I don't know why. And of course, everybody, if you've seen Spider-Man 3, you already know the backstory, how Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker was bonded with the Venom symbiote, how it altered his personality and everything, and how his powers got stronger, and everything in far between. And another render of that classic Raimi black suit from Spider-Man 3. But, okay, even though it may not be 2007 anymore, time to put some dirt in your eyes in 2025. And afterwards, you'll get your rent when you fix this damn door after the review. Okay, now that Bully Maguire is out of his box after 4 months since I got the figure back in June 2025, let's go over his accessories before I talk about the figure, because there's some stuff I got to talk about in terms of his articulation points and everything. But as much as I know about the Raimi black suit, which doesn't need no introduction, everybody knows the suit. The first is this Venom symbiote latch piece, which you can put around, like as shown on the, back of the box, where it's it's just the way how they have it rendered like that, and have it on top of Peter, with the Venom head looking like the head is about to eat Peter's head off. I'm like, okay, but everybody should know, even when in the church scene, when Peter was struggling to get the black suit off him and try to hit himself on the church bell to get the suit off, the Venom symbiote did pop out in that effect, and it's very Raimi-esque of the symbiote. And I really dig the way how they put so much detail, like Venom had all this amount of teeth around it, with the white, these white spikes being his teeth from his lower mouth, and then, the strands of the symbiote latching on, because I like the detail they did onto that too. Just making sure that, they make sure it looked like the Venom symbiote from Raimi's movies, and not Venom from like Tom Hardy's Venom or any version of Venom that we had recently in Spider-Man media. So that's cool to have that too. Interchangeable hands. Okay, we have some interchangeable hands. You got two web hands where where you'll have black suit Spider-Man shoot out his in Raimi's movie, even when Peter Parker has the black suit, the webs are still the usual the white webs, while Eddie Brock, when as Venom's webs are black. So they had to keep that distant and separate. But when I looked over the Gamerverse black suit Spider-Man, he came with black webbing. So Bully Maguire sadly doesn't have any black webbing he can swing from, but that was again Gamerverse black suit Spider-Man. So those were the interchangeable hands. Now let's talk about this black Spider-Man mask. All it is just a repurpose variant of the No Way Home, Peter head, and I know a lot of Spider-Man fans do not like the way how they repurposed the mask to look more like his more recent No Way Home appearance, but all in black. They should have kept the bottom of the web. Yeah, I have to admit, and I have to agree with everybody, they should have kept the web on the bottom of the mouth, just like how the mask was last we saw Tobey's Peter Parker. I mean, and the last we saw his Spider-Man on screen in any live-action Spider-Man films after 2007. I really personally, don't like the way how they had to take the same No Way Home, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man head and just go with it. And they should have just kept the web exactly like the last we saw it as purposed on from Raimi's movies. but they just didn't want to. Next thing you know, if we get another, like, imagine Hasbro doing a Marvel Legends Spider-Man trilogy legacy. Well, yeah, they did a Spider-Man trilogy collection, which was just basically repurposed molds from the Toy Biz toys of Spider-Man 1 and 2 with new molds for Spider-Man 3 specifically by Hasbro. Because as a matter of fact, because Spider-Man 3 was the first Marvel movie, pre-MCU or otherwise, to have toys by Hasbro. And I remember having a black suit Spider-Man figure from Hasbro that didn't have a mask, that was not accurate, but it still looked more like the black suit. But, you know, everybody should know Hasbro's earlier attempt at Marvel Legends. They were not great, and I remember the black suit Spider-Man that I had from Spider-Man 3 by Hasbro that was akin to a Marvel Legends figure that definitely wasn't good looking. But who would have thought all these years later, and they doing black suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3 yet again, but they just really couldn't keep the webbing on the bottom of the mouth right. And I don't like that. I mean, I like the way how they made it black for the suit and everything, but they should have just made the mask more accurate to how Tobey's mask was last we saw his Spider-Man again on screen. But we'll look into it when I go over the No Way Home Friendly Neighborhood figure later. And now we talk about Black Suit Spider-Man, aka Bully Maguire, or Emo Peter as we called him before. But I think Bully Maguire was a better suited name. Okay, so you should know that, like I said, this is just a repurposed Tobey Maguire head from the No Way Home figure. Everybody has pointed out, and I'm pointing it out too. But all they had to do was modify the hair to make him look like his emo haired look from 2007, back when Tobey Maguire was in his early 30s. And you know, crazy enough, I'm now 33 years old as of this video, and I'm now around the same age Tobey was when he did Spider-Man 3, when his hair was growing out all long. I'm trying to grow my hair out long as possible, but you know, as a black dude, I'm trying to grow my hair out long and try to strive for a, you know, black dude emo look myself, and wait until I get my own Raimi black suit for Spider-Man cosplay, and then watch me do Bully Maguire, but if Bully Maguire was a black dude. But, you know, again, Peter Parker is white. And I get they're trying to also strive for, you know, how Tobey looked back in 2007, trying to go for that more younger Peter Parker when, you know, Tobey was like late 20s, early 30, or already 30 when he did Spider-Man 3. Because again, Spider-Man 3, when Tobey was filming that, he had just turned 30. And when the movie came out, he was like 32, something like that. But again, Spider-Man 3, behind the scenes wise, if you didn't know, when they filmed Spider-Man 3, it was within 2 years, from 2005 to 2006, and the movie didn't come out until 2007. So a long 2 years of filming, and Tobey spent his early 30s filming Spider-Man 3. And of course, we were going to get the most famous, you know, hairstyle of his Peter ever conceived with. And then once they did the black suit stuff, he would do the emo look. And yeah, and I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Him doing that pose with that, yeah, yeah. And you know, when he was doing that dance and stuff, everybody knows the dance. Everybody knows his evil dance in the street, because hell, look at the pose, people. Because and then doing this, and then when he was clapping his hands and stuff, I don't know, what am I doing? Because again, I just couldn't help but just, again, looking at the figure in hand now, because now it looks a lot better out of the package and everything. But it's just, again, they just repurposed the No Way Home Friendly Neighborhood figure. Nothing much is different, but again, they should have never, you know, compromised the mask and the webbing on that one. But they're trying to make Tobey look exactly like he looked like 18 years ago, but it's just, nothing's much different. Like, when they did the No Way Home figure of Tobey's Peter, they had him exactly how Tobey looked, because when Tobey came back as Spider-Man in No Way Home, he was now in his late 40s coming back. His hair got a little shorter because he's getting older. You know, the dude ain't getting any younger, and I mean, I like him for what he looked like back in the day, and make sure, because again, this, I mean, imagine if they do a legacy collection of Raimi's movies again in 2026, The Mask, right? And hopefully we get like new action figures based on Raimi Spider-Man films again. Even though No Way Home, we did had like Doc Ock and Green Goblin and Sandman. But that was for No Way Home. But if we get brand new figures of Raimi Spider-Man in like a Legacy collection, kind of like what Hasbro did with their Marvel Legends like Legacy collections for like the X-Men movies, I mean, we could see that for Spider-Man here too, and possibly for pre-MCU like variants of the Fantastic Four and Daredevil, if possible. Ghost Rider, if possible, because even though 20th Century Fox no longer exists anymore, there could be ways we can see a Legacy collection for that variation of the Fantastic Four. And well, we've had some Legacy collection figures of the Fox X-Men movies earlier, but I would love to see them try to take another stab at Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy for another go at a Legacy collection again, because that first attempt they did back in 2007, 2008 definitely, was not good. So yeah, this is how the black suit Spider-Man always looked. I mean, everybody loves the suit. It's one of my all-time favorite black suit Spider-Man suits. It may not be comic accurate, but as long as it's still faithful to what they adapted from the comics. Okay, now let's go over articulation. I've rambled enough. And I mind Bully Maguire, and I don't know if I want to keep the head on there, but let's see how to try to take it off the ball joint. Try not to break the joint. Come on, Bully! I just want to put the. Why is it so hard to get the ball joint to put the mask on? There we go. Yeah, why was that so hard? Okay, on to the black suit Spider-Man mask. The ball joint on this Spider-Man is a little tough, and that's why I gotta be careful. I gotta be real careful, because I was scared that I would break a ball joint, just like I did a Yellow Ranger earlier, in an earlier filming of a review. Okay, and here's Black Suit Spider-Man with his mask on, and all like, see ya, chump. Well, okay. So here's Black Suit Spider-Man with the mask on. And yeah, I'll put the Bully Maguire head somewhere else. Because the reason I got to put this mask on, so when I compare him with the other Black Suit Spider-Mans I have, wait until I do that. So here you go with Black Suit Spider-Man with the mask on. And then time we talk about articulation. Turn the head around all directions. Tilt the head up and down, but again, I gotta be very, very careful with that ball joint on the head for the head, because I'm scared it'll break. It was a very tough ball joint too. Butterfly joints, unfortunately, they're present, but you just can't spread them arms worth a damn. Unfortunately, should have thought of it earlier. Fuck you. Elbow crunches are good, because again, this is for a Raimi Spider-Man with the pinless joints for Marvel Legends today. So you got the pinless joints on the elbows, and then now the spreading of the legs is a little tricky, because it just feels weird that the way how they did this figure, it's just like it just feels like tacked on, and this is where I'm kind of having some mixed feelings on this. As much as I've been highly anticipating, after all the anticipation for this figure, I'm kind of a little let down on this figure, as much as people were let down on the movie. As for the abdomen crunch feature is good on this figure. You can hear some loud snapping when you snap the abdomen around on the figure, and you can spread them legs. And and also the legs there's a little snap to that, like you're snapping somebody's waistline and stuff in the joints of the waist. As for the knee crunches are kind of difficult on this figure from what I can tell. And here's the knee crunch on this leg, but sadly, when it comes to this leg, I'm trying to bend bend this leg. Oh, I got it. But at first I had a problem with it. But so that's how the knee joints were. But the knee joint on this one was kind of bad on this figure. Ankle pivots is good on the figure, at least. No problems there. And now let's compare Raimi's Black Suit Spider-Man with another Black Suit Spider-Man that I reviewed earlier. That being Gamerverse Black Suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5. So here's how both Black Suits stand together. And so now that's something to see. Now you want another comparison of a Spider-Man and how he stands. Here's Last Stand again. Last Stand Spidey, how he stands. I'm scared he's about to fall over. There you go. And then here's how he stands with Gamerverse Black Cat. Yeah, it kind of makes me wish that if Raimi had, you know, it kind of wish that we had Black Cat in Spider-Man 3 in Raimi's world. You know, basically Bryce Dallas Howard at minor as Gwen Stacy. Can you imagine if she was cast as Black Cat, Felicia Hardy in that? Wouldn't that be something? But Bryce Dallas Howard was a great Gwen Stacy. You know, it was a great choice for Gwen Stacy, but she felt a little unnecessary in places in the movie-wise. But hell, she could have worked as Black Cat. She had the face. And there you go. So that's it for my review on Black Suit Spider-Man, aka Bully Maguire. So that's it for that review. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time.